Good afternoon. My name is Brian Donahue, and I'm the Scoutmaster of Troop 345. Welcome to our Eagle Court of Honor. Thank you for coming. I'd like to welcome all of our guests, friends, family, scouts, and our Eagle Scout inductees to this Court of Honor. Scouting is dedicated to fostering the highest ideals of citizenship. For over 100 years, Scouting has remained constant, that the total development from childhood to adulthood depends on physical, mental, and moral growth expressed in the Scout Oath. The skills are demanding and the challenges are great, so it's not surprising that only about 3% of the boys and girls who start Scouting actually achieve the Eagle rank. Today we're going to honor those boys who have recently achieved this rank in our troop. We have 6 scouts in the troop that are being honored today. They all set the goal and worked many years to achieve this. They have shown strength of character and have earned the Eagle rank. To call this ceremony to order, I'm going to invite the Senior Patrol Leader of Troop 345, Jack Donahue, forward to assemble his troop.
Bring forth the rank of Scouts. I call Assistant Senior Patrol Leaders Lucas Brahma and Griffin Stewart to bring forth the ceremonial eagle. I call Eagle candidates Riley Alvord, Kent Garrids, Jonathan Hennessy, William Sadowski, Kedav Udupa, and Reese Willoughby. I call the color guard of David Oz and James Schultz. Display the colors. Post the colors. Please stand. Square off, salute, and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. James Schultz, please lead us in the Scout Oath. I will do my best to do my duty to God and country, to obey Scout law, David Oz, please lead us in the Scout of Law. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, lean, and pure. I now invite Devin Ballantyne for the opening prayer.
Please remove all non-religious headgear. Lord, we thank you for the interest in the Scouting movement that has brought this group of people together today. We thank you for the ongoing success of Scouting in the United States for over 100 years. We are grateful for the influence that Troop 345 has had on the lives of many boys that have passed through its ranks. We pray for continued blessings on this troop, its scouts, its leaders, and its sponsors today and through the years to come. We pray that Troop 345 may continue to do its good work and that it may continue to turn out good citizens and leaders for tomorrow. Amen.
Please be seated.
The trail to Eagle is a journey, often considered the path less traveled. An ancient proverb states, "It is not the mountain ahead that tires you. It's the single grain of sand in your shoe." This is the story of how our new Eagles climbed that mountain and managed the grain of sand in their individual shoes.
Do you not know, have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40:28-31. Since the beginning of time, God and man used the eagle as a symbol of royalty, power, victory, authority, and valor. Its strength and courage has inspired men throughout the ages. In the golden days of Greece, the eagle was a symbol of victory and supreme spiritual energy. The Greeks represented the eagle with wings outstretched, holding a serpent in his claws. Thus, the eagle represented the triumph of good over evil. The Romans saw the eagle as the symbol of victory. As the Roman legions conquered the world, they marched under the standard of the eagle with outstretched wings. The silver eagle was the symbol of the Republic, and the Roman Empire used the golden eagle as its symbol. The eagle was the personal emblem of the Caesars, thus representing supreme authority. The rise of Christianity brought the eagle still more honor. To the early Christians, the eagle was the symbol of ascension due to its biblical references, its powerful flight, and its gaze, which often seemed fixed upon the heavens. On June 20th, 1782, the eagle became the symbol of a new country. Because of the eagle's courage, beauty, and majesty, it was chosen to symbolize the United States of America. It is now a prominent aspect of the emblem of the President, Vice President, several members of the President's cabinet, and most branches of the military. Additionally, several states have the eagle on their state flags, and you can still find an eagle on American currency. Finally, the crew of Apollo 11 chose Eagle as the name for the lunar module, which was to make history with the words of Eagle Scout Neil Armstrong. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. And with those words, the world knew that man achieved the impossible, touching the moon. From the words of the prophet Isaiah to the emblem of this country, the eagle has a part in the most momentous achievements of man. As a result, in 1911, Following the traditions as old as man himself, Boy Scouts of America chose the eagle to symbolize the very highest in achievement. Through all of history, the eagle has been the symbol of man's best. It also serves as a symbol for boys who have soared to scouting's highest heights. The rank of Eagle Scout.
Today is really quite a milestone for Troop 345, as we award 6 young men with Scouting's highest honor, the Eagle Scout Award. The presentation of the Eagle Scout Award is an important and serious matter. For the Eagle inductee, this is the highest point of his scouting efforts. The attainment of this award is made possible through the efforts of the scout himself and through the assistance of many adults, his scoutmasters, troop leaders, merit badge counselors, fellow scouts, parents, family, friends, and members of the community. The Eagle Award is the highest recognition offered in scouting. It is earned through the prescribed advancement program, but it also gives the scout the ability to pick their individual path. The wearer of the Eagle badge represents the embodiment of scouts' best efforts and beliefs. These 6 young men have all distinguished themselves through their continued performance of active service to scouting and their community. It is important that each of us understands the meaning of the Eagle badge, so we will now walk the trail to Eagle, which will be presented by several members of our troop who hope to follow in these scouts' footsteps on the path toward the Eagle rank. So I'm going to ask that Riley, Kent, Jonathan, William, Kadev, and Reese please come forward.
To earn the highest rank in scouting, a scout must devote a great deal of time and effort. Therefore, the occasion that recognizes his accomplishments should be memorable. Today, we shall follow the trail to Eagle as we recognize the accomplishments of our new Eagles.
I'm Lucas Brahma, and I'm a life scout in Troop 345. When a boy becomes a Boy Scout, there's something within him that we call the spirit of scouting. This single candle before you represents that spirit. Because the spirit of scouting embodies the principles of the Scout Oath and Law, this single candle becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may seem feeble, but when multiplied by over 3.5 million youth in scouting around the world, it becomes powerful indeed. For each of our Eagle inductees, the members of Troop 345 have been his close scouting family. They have encouraged him when he needs encouragement. They honored him by electing him to leadership positions within the troop, and they worked many hours on each Eagle Scout project. The first rank on the path to Eagle is the rank of Scout. To earn this rank, our candidates had to understand and promise to live by the Scout Oath and Law. They learned the Scout motto, slogan, salute, and handshake, and understood the significance of the Scout badge.
I am James Schultz, and I am a first-class scout in Troop 345. The second rank on the path is Tenderfoot. To earn this rank, our candidates were active in the troop and patrols. They went on camping trips and learned outdoor skills like cooking, knots, first aid, and safety. They worked on their physical fitness. They repeated from memory the Scout Oath and Law and demonstrated how they practiced the Oath and Law in everyday life.
I am Nico Ferreira, and I'm a Life Scout in Troop 345. While showing scout spirit and being active in the troop, these boys were honing their scouting skills. They learned to navigate with a map and compass, continued practicing their camping and outdoor cooking skills, continued learning about safety and first aid, spent hours in service to the community. They had a Scoutmaster Conference and Troop Leaders Board of Review, and they became second-class Scouts.
I am Griffin Stewart. I am a Life Scout in Troop 345. As second-class Scouts, they were active in their troop and patrols and showed Scout spirit. They attended Many Point Summer Camp and completed Eagle-required merit badges. They participated in service projects. They continued camping and outdoor cooking. They learned more about first aid and safety, including safety in and around the water. After having a Scoutmaster Conference and Board of Review, they became first-class Scouts.
I am Carl Schoberg, and I am a Life Scout in Troop 345. As first-class Scouts for at least 4 months, they were active and showed Scout spirit in their troops and patrols. They earned a total of 6 merit badges, 4 of which were from the Eagle Required list. They did service projects of at least 6 hours, and they also served 4 months or more in a troop leadership position. After having a Scoutmaster Conference and Board of Review, they become Star Scouts.
Continuing along the scouting trail, our candidates were active as Star Scouts for at least 6 months and showed Scout spirit and leadership. They earned 5 more merit badges, 3 of which were from the required list for Eagle. They taught scouting skills to younger Scouts. They served 6 months or more in a troop leadership position. After doing service projects of at least 6 hours and having a Scoutmaster Conference and Board of Review, they became Life Scouts.
I am Tanner Smith, and I'm an Eagle Scout in Troop 345. To attain the highest rank of scouting, Eagle, our candidates were active as Life Scouts in our troop and their patrols for at least 6 months, showing Scout spirit and leadership. They earned 10 more merit badges for a total of 21, 13 of which were from the Eagle Required list. They served 6 months or more in the troop leadership position. They planned, developed, and gave leadership and service to service projects which were helpful to their school, religious institution, or community. They passed a troop and district board of review, and tonight you will witness the presentation of their well-earned Eagle Scout Award.
Now we are going to hear from our guest speaker. It's my pleasure to invite Michael Petron to come up. Michael actually went to grade school here at St. Therese, attended Mass, grew up in the community, went to Minnetonka High School and graduated in 2015. Then you attended Iowa State University and graduated in 2019 with a mechanical engineering degree, correct? Thank you. Now he's working at CommScope as an engineer where you're designing fiber optic connectors, which sounds kind of fun, but I don't think that's the topic of the conversation today. I think you're going to have some other thoughts for the boys. So thank you for coming today and spending your time. Please welcome Michael.
Thank you. I'm going to use the podium here, so well, thank you for having me here. First off, congratulations to you, 6 young men. This is an outstanding achievement this is an outstanding achievement in receiving your Eagle Award, and it's an exciting day. I'm very grateful and honored that I can share it with you, your friends, and your family, so thank you. As you know, reaching Eagle is not an easy task. It's taken many years of hard work and dedication to get to this point. You've learned valuable skills during your time in scouting, some of which you probably don't even realize. Heck, I didn't even realize some of them until I started writing this speech. So today, I want to tell you about what I've learned and share some of my experiences on how scouting has helped me get to where I am today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Petron. I am Eagle Scout number 84 from Troop 345, and like it was said earlier, a little background about me. Grew up in Minnetonka, went to St. Therese, and graduated from Minnetonka High School. Went to Iowa State, got a degree in mechanical engineering, and then now work at a telecommunications company since I've been graduated. Now, for some of you, that story sounds pretty familiar. It wasn't that long ago that I was in your shoes, sitting where you are today in these very pews. We probably had some of the same experiences during our time in Troop 345. My favorite memories from scouting include all the high adventure camps at Northern Tier, Philmont, and Sea Base. But also, I have very fond memories of Minnie Point and the old Army tents that always flooded, and wading across the Mississippi River at Itasca State Park, and doing the true polar plunge at Camp Summers in Canada, where you have to pull out, cut up, and then store the ice for the summer before you can hop in the frozen lake. Now, camping will always hold some of my favorite memories in scouting. It taught me a lot of practical skills. But some of the most valuable things I learned in scouting came from taking on leadership positions in the troop. Leadership experience was a regular part of scouting. It was exposed to us through various positions. Scouts would plan campouts, lead meetings, and coordinate courts of honors. I can honestly say almost everything I've learned about leadership and the values that made me who I am are a direct result from the experience I held in these positions. The funny thing is, I didn't really realize it. For instance, excuse me. The funny thing is, I didn't really realize I was learning about it. For instance, one of the first positions I held was a den chief for Den 5 and PAC 427. I would help them run their den meetings and teach them the oath and motto. But now looking back, I realized that being a den chief was really about being a role model to young Cub Scouts. Being the youngest in my family, it was the first time that anyone had ever looked up to me as kind of a big brother. I was probably 13 or 14 at the time. But scouting put me in a position to lead others, not with words, but by example. If I was slacking off, so would these 7 and 8-year-olds. They saw everything I was doing and reacted the same. My job was to be a positive influence on them and show them how a 13 and 14-year-old should act. I think a lot of that resonated with some of them, because about a year ago, one of the boys from Den 5 achieved his Eagle, and I was fortunate enough to receive a mentor pin from him that I'm currently wearing. I'm guessing a lot of how I acted in my daily life stuck with him as we both grew up. Now, Scouts, maybe in your case you were a senior patrol leader, a chaplain aide, or a quartermaster. In those positions, other members of the troop looked up to you, followed your lead. Remember that they were always there, Remember that there are always people in your life that will be looking up to you. Maybe that's a younger sibling, or maybe that's a friend. Use what scouting has taught you and lead by example in your daily life. It's your actions that reflect who you are and show your character. Others will see that and be drawn to you. Not only did scouting teach me about leadership, but it also taught me the importance of serving others. Community service is the basis of scouting. Scout Oath reminds us to help other people at all times. During scouting, there are always opportunities to serve others. For instance, helping with a Friends Eagle project, assisting in a food drive, or doing park cleanups, and so many more. Because service hours were required to advance in rank, it was ingrained in us from an early age to give back to our communities. For some of you who may be attending college in the future, service to others seems like something that could easily get swept under the rug. There always seems to be something that could take up your time, seems too important. Oh, I've got a test on Wednesday and a calc assignment due on Thursday. Oh wait, there's another test on Monday, so now I've got to go study all weekend. Oh, I can't miss the football game. I challenge you to not let that slip by, not let serving others slip by. Plan ahead, be prepared. There are so many small things you can do to give back, even while you're in school. During my time at Iowa State, I was a member of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. In Phi Psi, I was the philanthropy chair and community service chair for a semester each. I planned our annual fundraiser for a local food pantry and organized events to help our members give back. Sometimes it was as simple as playing cribbage with the senior centers every other Wednesday night. Other times it was cleaning up local parks in town. Scouting instilled in me a need to always give back to the community, to serve others before yourself. I think that's the reason I was drawn to these positions in Phi Psi. It was fun to give back. I hope it is for you too. Remember not to lose that and find time to give back, whether that's in college or in your spare time as you join the workforce. Now, as you do enter the workforce, you'll find that everyone has their own unique personality. If you end up like me, you'll find yourself surrounded by socially awkward engineers 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. And I'm guessing some of you in the audience know what I'm talking about. But really, what I mean is that there are always going to be people in your professional life that have many different opinions and ideas than your own. This might make it challenging to work with that individual, but I think Scouting has prepared us well for these situations. Throughout Scouting, we have always been challenged with collaborating with others. One example that comes to mind that took place repeatedly when I was senior patrol leader. That took place when I was a senior patrol leader. There were always varying opinions on how to structure a camp out. How do we assign kitchen duty? What kind of activities are we going to do? How do we structure patrols on the camp out so that friends can do activities together? This required a lot of discussion, not only with the Scoutmaster, but with fellow ASPLs. I would ask questions to the ASPLs, get their input, listen to what they had to say so we could fulfill the ultimate goal of having fun on the camp out. There was a lot of compromise, respect for each other's opinions, and trust that we were doing the right thing for the group. In engineering, there are many parallels to this. It's a collaborative environment. We're always asking questions and seeking others' opinions and trusting each other that we'll create the best possible product. I know each of you can think of a time that you did not agree with a fellow scout. How did you respond? Learn from that. Use that moving forward. I can tell you now, in the real world, not everyone is going to agree with you. You will always need to find ways to work together for a common goal. Now, Scouting has given me the foundation that shaped who I am today. Through leadership positions, community service, and collaborating with others, it has given me the tools that I need to succeed. My hope is that for you all, when you look back in your scouting days in your mid-20s like me, you realize just how much Scouting has prepared you to be the person you are. Carry that knowledge with you in your professional life and in your daily life. Again, congratulations, Scouts. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for your inspiring words and thoughts. We're now at the point where we have the Eagle Charge. And the Eagle Charge is a special oath taken by our Eagle Scouts. And the charge is always read by an Eagle Scout. As a reminder, once someone earns their Eagle, they are always an Eagle. There's no past tense. Eagle candidates, new Eagles, please come forward. Eagle candidates, I charge you to enter this Eagle family holding without reservation and ever before you the ideals of honor and service. By the repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your family and scouts, fellow scouts, you will become an Eagle Scout. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the same words that closed the Declaration of Independence. I'd now invite all Eagles here today to come forward and join our newest Eagles in reciting the Eagle Scout Charge. So, Scout sign, repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example and my status and influence count strongly for better scouting, for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Audience members, please be seated. New Eagles, your conduct along the trail to Eagle has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principles of Scouting. But one more thing is important, your future. As an Eagle Scout, you will become a guide to other Scouts. You will become an example in your community and to all who know you. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous and that people now expect more from you. The torch you carry is not yours alone, but it is also ours. I now invite the parents of each new Eagle Scout to join your son, and I welcome Scoutmaster Brian Donahoe and Kelly Smith, former chair of our troop committee, to come forward.
Eagle Scouts, we are finally at the moment that you have been waiting for. Having confirmed all of you are ready to receive this award, it is now time to formally present this high badge of accomplishment. I invite Riley Alvord and his father and his grandmother to proceed to the front.
My turn. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce Riley Alvord an Eagle Scout. So if you want.
While they are doing that, Riley's Scout Eagle project. So Riley's project involved the renovation of a stairway, fence, and path on the outside of St. Therese School in Deep Haven. The project consisted of 3 parts: a new coat of paint over the railing and door, a paved path along the fence, and lastly, the planting of 5 dogwood plants to guide the path. He attended school at St. Therese for 9 years and was keen on doing a project on campus so that he could give back to the community. The stairway to the entrance at the back of the building looks much more appealing now, and the project improved the functionality of that entrance. One of Riley's favorite scouting memories, he was on a high adventure trip to Philmont Ranch in the, and I might, Sangre de Cristo? Is that how you say that? Mountain range in New Mexico. This scout experience was one of the toughest available, and his group was able to participate in many activities, including rock climbing, rifle shooting, and lots of hiking. Backpacking with a 50-pound pack at times was not easy, but the views and experiences along the way made it worthwhile. After a long day of hiking in the heat and the treacherous terrain, it was very rewarding to look back and see how far he'd come.
And then while Kelly was sharing those memories, Riley gave a pin to his grandmother and his father as a symbol of all the help that they gave him over the years. And so the other scouts are going to be doing something similar as we go along, but I won't repeat that because you now know what is happening. So Riley, we'd like you to stand over here, and you can please be seated.
Kent's parents. Kent's Eagle project, he was involved in building a... Oh.
Before you do that, I should be doing my official words. So by the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce Kent Garreds an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
Kent's project was a fishing informational kiosk along the Mississippi River. He designed the kiosk structure on a computer-aided drawing software, and that allowed him to easily generate a purchase list and a construction plan and the graphic that is inside the kiosk. He put fishing and conservation tips as well as boating safety and etiquette on the platform, and in addition made the kiosk within it a fishing line collection bin. And almost every boat launch that he's been to, because he's always seen discarded fishing line laying around on the ground, so this helped facilitate keeping those sites clean. Having this project was an amazing experience because it combined two passions for him: fishing and engineering design. And along that new learning experience and planning, he's learned a lot through group leadership and completing the project. One of Kent's favorite memories was also his trip to Philmont Scout Ranch. There are many different camps in his history, but that part of his scouting experience, the trip was the hike to the top of Tooth of Time. Part of the way up there was an area to stop and do some bouldering and rock climbing on some smaller rock structures while climbing the rest of the way to the top. Once at the top of the tooth, the view was spectacular, and it was amazing to see how much vertical height we had gained since leaving the base camp. The entire trip was a fun experience that helped him expand on some of his scouting skills, and it's something that he will always remember for the rest of his life.
Next, we have John Hennessy. So by the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce John Hennessy an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
So when John was planning his Eagle project, he approached St. Therese to inquire about some possible projects that needed to be done. He worked with Father Andre to review the property and some of the things that were needed. And on the northern end of the property, there's a gate, a fence and a gate. And it was in, did it exist? Or did, like, no. So it was, yeah, there was no fence there. And they wanted to put something there to designate that area and keep people out of it. So they, it was a newly donated section of land. It had an old garage and a gravel driveway on it. And they worked with the church and designed a plan to come up with it, pick the size of the materials. They spent a little over 16 hours gathering the materials, constructing the fence. And the overall process was very smooth, and the finished fence is now, you can observe it as you're driving east on Minnetonka Boulevard to the right as you approach the church. One of John's favorite scouting memories is Sea Base. Sea Base is located in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where they participate on a boat and crew. They met with their captain, Wes, and had a great time and experience as the captain helped them direct their sailing adventure. They sailed for a total of 5 days, and one of his favorite memories during that week was on the final day. He wanted to break 100 miles of sailing, and we had sailed 40 more miles on the last day to break it, and they accomplished that goal. And so that, again, one of the best parts of that adventure was to lie out on the deck and sleep under the stars at night.
Congratulations, thank you. So Mom and Dad can sit down, you're gonna enjoy your friends. So our next scout is William Sadowski. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce William an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
So William's project is in a park, and it's it's a skating rink in the winter, and they wanted to have a dual purpose, and so they wanted to put a functional gate on the rink to allow for use as a dog park during the summertime. So they designed and constructed a very sturdy 12-foot gate as an enclosure to that structure. He attended several city council meetings to get the project funded and approved, and had assistance from his troop to execute the project, and is very thankful to his sponsor, Mr. Willoughby, and from the support of the troop and his family. One of William's favorite memories is definitely Camp Summers, when he first just became a Boy Scout. He was nervous because his friends had just passed over the bridge and received their arrows, but the Camp Summers experience was one of his highlights. He enjoyed his time with his friends up there. They made handmade pizzas, snowmobiled, chopped down trees for firewood, cut ice out to produce their own water, and it was just a great trip, and it'll be something that he will remember for the rest of his life.
You might think I would have this memorized by now, but I'm going to make sure I say it right. So our next scout is Kadev Udupa. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce Kadev an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
Kadev's project was a very special project for him. In 2020, his 10-year-old cousin was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. To help other children that were going through the same struggles, he created cancer care kits for children in the Minneapolis hospitals for his project. He had a very detailed plan for how his project would be executed. He created a donation drive for materials. They put together a packing day and then delivered the kits to the hospital. These were donated to Minnesota Children's Hospital and the Masonic Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. Through that donation drive, they were able to pack 125 kits that contained journals, colored pencils, warm socks, lotion, chapstick, fun stickers, and other extra things. With the extra funds that he was able to collect through his donation drive, he was able to also donate snacks for the families of the children while they're in the hospital. One of Kadev's favorite scouting memories is his trip to Oak Pick Scout Camp near the Canadian border. The first night he slept outside in below zero temperatures. It was a bit scary sleeping outside in the cold, but it ended up being really warm with all the blankets. He also really enjoyed ice fishing and watching the dog sledding. And one of his favorite parts was the Nordic skiing around the lakes. It was super fun bonding with all the other scouts, and it was a very unique camp experience.
And the last of our scouts this afternoon, Reese Willoughby. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce Reese an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
Reese's project, he collaborated with the Department of Special Education, and his project created 2 sensory pathways for students. Sensory pathways are paths designed with a series of guided movements for kids to follow. The pathways are easy to follow with clear markings and instruction. As students follow the pathways and complete the movements, they develop and improve gross motor skills, work off excess energy, and often decrease agitation and experience more calm and peace. We created 1 indoor in a hallway and 1 outdoor path. Riley is very grateful to be able to help a school that meant so much to him as he was growing up. One of Reese's favorite memories is the winter camping trip to Oak Pick Northern Tier Scout Camp next to Boundary Waters. And again, sleeping under the stars and sleeping in a Kwanzi snow cave. May I congratulate you all and remind you that scouting should now be an even greater tie between son, parents, binding you even closer as family. To each of you Eagle Scouts, I express confidence that you will honor scouting and God with your life and your service as this afternoon scouting honors you. Eagle Scouts, to reach your goals, you have received the help of many along your way. I now welcome Riley Alvord to honor his special mentors that have helped him during his scouting journey. I now invite Kent Gerards to honor your special mentors. Jonathan Hennessy, please invite your special mentors. I welcome William Sadowski to honor his special mentors. I welcome Kata Vadupa to honor his special mentors. And finally, I welcome Reese Willoughby to honor his special mentors.
Gentlemen, you want to sit? We're getting close to the end, folks. But we are about to embark on kind of the longest part of our traditions in this ceremony. Troop 345 demonstrates our pride in the scouts who have earned the rank of Eagle by hanging a ribbon with their name on the top of our American flag. You can see the number of ribbons that are up there right now. Right now, I think that count is just over 130. At every court of honor, we do an roll call. So I'm going to read through every one of the names that has earned an Eagle before the gentlemen that are here today. And then we'll be adding their names to that roll call. And as we add their names, we'll ask each of them to come up and add a ribbon that we have up here with their name on it. So I appreciate your patience as I read through the names. Oh, and I think as I do this, everybody always comes to their mind, how long ago was the first Eagle Scout? We don't have an exact date, but our best guess was that the first Eagle Scout earned that rank in 1968. Dirk Peterjohn, David Holland, Michael Magnuson, David Christ, Paul Christ, Jeffrey Mayer, Ross Daly, Mark Andre, Scott Andre, Robert Goltz, Scott Anderson, Wayne Priest, Peter Von Goren, Samuel Pittman, Aaron Bleckert, Sean Doherty, Christian Von Goren, Ludwig Von Goren, Derek Kosser, Carl Von Goren, Andrew Norquist, Terrell Wilhite, Jonathan Johansson, Jeffrey Johansson, Brian Cox, Joseph DeVoe, David During, Christopher Avery, Adam Dilly, Leonard Riley, Garrett Nordling, Jonathan Lawson, Patrick Daring, Jordan Cox, Kevin Daring, Matthew Ponder, Brett Sordeberg, Matthew Sorensen, Alexander Barney, Nicholas Cornea. Peter Summers, Ryan Anderson, Daniel Schlesinger, Ian Wilson, Mark Ponder, Patrick Sordeberg, Brandon Solom, John Rudberg, Matthew Bai, Donald Lawson, Arturo Schultz, Matthew Petron, Kevin Cunningham, Adam Clark, Nicholas Wire, Kevin Monahan, Brian Monahan, John Toby, Thomas Larson, Matthew Borchers, Alexander Herbst, Hans Vroj, Andrew Wolf, Bennett Nowak, William Arrett, Mason McCormick, Mitchell Kiffmeyer, Sam Scheckman, Nikki Swanson, Miles Siebold, Brendan Lee Gilligan, Mitchell Plaisted, Matthew Lindholm, Kendall Renowski, Ian Cunningham, John Damer, Will Farner, Jackson Denley, William Lawson, Benjamin Bushnell, Alex Gross, Austin Haig, John Eggenberger, Michael Petron, Tony Lindholm, Aaron Nowak, Sam Croning, Jack New, Matthew Schroeder, Tommy Damer, Zach McCormick, James Farner, Jack Kish, Finn Lee Gilligan, Bennett Lanners, Mason Kiffmeyer, Christian Lowry, Joey Oakman, Patrick Ryle, Joey Swanson, Jack Scheckman, Chaz Linder, Brian Boynton, Dalton Mecklenburg, Patrick Brady, Joe Romansky, John Dion, Patrick Lorgan, Kevin Oz, Declan Lee Gilligan, Alex Portless, Cole Lowry, Alex Litz, Luke Brady, Max Schlotthauer, Alex Kish, Aiden Lee Gilligan, Luke Harris, Braden Burke, Nicholas Croning, Greg Stoffel, Finn Brady, Max Hoffman, A.J. Hemmick, Jack Schuster, Matthew Lezek, Emma Lydon, William Sweeney. Griffin Haig, Simon Handwerger, Omar Yusuf, Scott Sorensen, so do you guys want to come up and help with the flag? Now's the time to help with the flag. So now we get to today's scouts that we're honoring. Thanks, Devin. Kedev Udupa. Riley Alvord. And we have 2 Eagle Scouts in the troop who are not participating in this Court of Honor. They're waiting for their patrol mates to complete their Eagle projects, and they will participate in our Court of Honor next spring. So the first of those 2 is Tanner Smith, and then next to put their ribbon on is Reese Willoughby. Jonathan Hennessy. Kent Garreds. This is the last test to become an Eagle, is trying to find a place where your ribbon can fit. And then Cooper Hemmick earned his Eagle. William Sadowski. So if you guys would like to please stand up, face your family and friends. I now formally present to you our new Eagle Scouts. Devin will now give us our closing prayer.
I hate to make you boys stand back up, but would everyone please rise and remove all non-religious headgear for final prayer? Thank you, God, for the opportunity to come together as family, friends, leaders, and fellow Scouts on this very special day in the lives of these new Eagle Scouts. We thank you for your support of everyone who has helped guide these young men on their trail to Eagle. We are grateful for their scouting experience and opportunities that have led us to this day. Help each new Eagle, Riley, Ken, Jonathan, William, Katav, and Reese, to live up to the honor, responsibility, and expectations that this Eagle Ward represents. Help them to wear this title with pride and distinction for themselves and as an example to others. Help them fly in your presence as though on the wings of an eagle. Amen.
So Riley, Kent, Jonathan, William, Cative, and Reese. Use each day to soar high. Focus on lofty goals and hold yourself to supreme standards so that you can achieve that which is the highest and noblest in your life. I invite everybody to join us in the community room over to the right as you exit the sanctuary. And I now formally close this court of honor. But before you walk away, I'm going to ask our senior patrol leader, Jack Downey, to come up and close the ceremony.
Thank you all for coming.
No.
No?
Thanks so much for coming in and helping. You must be Mike.
I'm Tom.
Oh, you're Tom. Oh, for some reason I thought, doesn't matter.
No, Michael was
Your son.
speaking.
Yeah. For some reason I thought you guys had the same name.
I'm the dad.
Yeah.
But, actually, Matthew was here too. His brother, sitting back there. Nice job.
Thank you.
6 more, 2 plus more.